Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Winter Solstice 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. How will the winter solstice affect Capricorn 2021? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Hanged Man, and we have the Death card, which makes perfect sense for winter solstice. The Death card is absolutely beautiful. This is also Scorpio energy, so if we have Scorpio within our natal chart, this comes through very powerfully here at our root. Then we have the Four of Cups and the Four of Swords in our inner self. This is also telling us very much to connect with our bodies, to connect with ourselves, our souls, our being, but definitely our bodies, to be in tune with them. Then we have the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So if we have fire sign energy within our natal chart, this comes through very powerfully at the heart. Then we have the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. I love the repeat of the numbers here. You know, the repeat of the number 4, the body, the repeat of the number 6, which is one of the most nurturing numbers in numerology. And so here at our heart, we really need to remember to nurture ourselves and to care for ourselves. I love that we have 12, right? You know, right here. And then it goes to 13, that beautiful progression. Then we have the Five of Swords and the Death card once again. Scorpio energy, very, very, very powerful here. And the Five of Swords is we're facing something that we have faced before. Do we want to face it? No, we really don't. We'd rather prefer not to ever see it again, quite literally. But there is something that we're coming forward to, something that we're realizing, something that we're seeing. And it's like, I'm going to be handling this differently. Why? Because I have more confidence within myself. Why? Because I know what I need, I know what I desire, and I have the power of my voice to lead me forward. And that's going to be very much a big deal for us. That power of our voice, that power of ourself, to stand in ourself, that's going to be a game changer. Now let's look at our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. The moon. Now this is Pisces energy. Also, the winter solstice, which is on the 21st of December, has still the energy of the full moon. The full moon was only on the 18th, and so that energy is still there. Here we have the energy of the moon coming in. We also have fears coming forward, the subconscious and the conscious fear of how am I embracing my life? How am I moving forward? What am I seeing? What do I desire? We're looking at the shadows, and instead of seeing monsters, we need to see the earth. We need to see the world around us. We need to see what is holding us back and why. Also, we need to be very aware of fearmongers during this time, people who are going to try and exasperate or exacerbate fear within our lives, bring it up and lead us forward in fear. So just be very aware of that. We then have our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have life purpose. This is the throat chakra, and it's embracing our purpose. It's stating our purpose. It's saying, this is me, this is what I desire, and this is the ascension of myself into my power, into the place I need to be for myself, heart, soul, and spirit. There's a real sense of feeling connected, with our life purpose as we face so many fears, as we look at things, and as we transform. The transformation is going to be such a monumental part of this winter solstice. Now, again, the winter solstice is on the 21st of December, and we have here the number 12, right? The December is the 12th month, so that's coming through powerfully. And then we have 21, which is 12 reversed, which is the day of the winter solstice on the 2021, on the 21st year. So here what we have is we have the number 1221, that 12 repeating itself 3 times. And as it comes forward, as we see this, as we claim this, we're also claiming the body, because those can be reduced to 3, right? And 3 is a creative number. 3 is also a sacred number. And then we have 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. And that is telling us to step into our body, to step into ourselves. The winter solstice is all about rebirth. It's all about the rebirth of life. And we have the death card, which is all about rebirth, showing up at our root and showing up in the public arena. It is a time of letting go of anything that does not align with our higher purpose. We are given this time to look at our fears, to look at what has held us back, to look at what we want to change. And as we're looking at it, we're looking at ourselves more and more. It is the quiet that is going to bring such intense realizations, such intense resolutions and revelations within ourselves. Now, we also have to be aware of the energy that we're kind of combating against during this time. It's the energy of authority, and it's the energy of freedom. So we're caught between these two energies because we're caught between Saturn and Uranus. Now, on the 20th of December, we have Mercury semi-sextile Saturn, and we have Mercury trine Uranus. Mercury brings these two planets into our talking sphere, into our mental sphere. That's why we, get upset with Mercury retrograde, because we're all about words and communication. So here, the communication of structure of Saturn and the communication of Uranus, of freedom, is really coming to the forefront of our minds. On the 24th of December, which is for all who celebrate it, Christmas Eve, we have the energy of Saturn squared Uranus coming forward. And so the winter solstice is like sandwiched in between these two things. And what we have is we have the power of freedom. We have the power of authority coming to the forefront of our minds, and we can feel pulled between both of these. Now, this is also amplified because the sun's energy moves from Sagittarius into our sign, Capricorn, of Capricorn. And this shift brings with it a shift of just the energy that's around us. Sagittarius is outspoken, optimistic, extravagant, but also extroverted. And Capricorn, we are hardworking, we're responsible, we're ambitious. We have our feet much more firmly planted on the ground. We're also ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is our ruling planet. And with Saturn coming forward so strongly here, we can really be just absolutely entrenched in the authority of it, in the rules of it, in the structure of it. And that's going to be something very powerful that we need to look at here. Because what we're seeing as we're embracing this winter solstice, and what we're seeing as we're entering into 2022, the angel number year of new beginnings, we see freedom and responsibility, needing to balance responsibilities and freedom, needing to balance dreams and reality, and seeing where we stand with that. And we're looking at things so differently than we have before. The hangman comes in and the hangman says, I see it all differently. The hangman can come in also and doubt everything that he sees because it's going against what other people are seeing, or it's going against what we think we should be seeing. And that brings us to the death card. It brings us to a place of transformation. It also brings us to a place of understanding I am not the person that I once was. Everything is transforming. Everything is becoming. I am understanding me more and more. I am seeing me more and more. And it's so interesting that in the night, on the longest night of the year, we are connecting with the energy that is us. We are seeing ourselves. We are owning ourselves. We are understanding ourselves. We are connecting with ourselves. And that becomes the game changer here. As we look at things differently, we start to see how we are transforming. We start to see why we want to transform. We can also start to see the energy that has been holding us back. Because we have such a connection with the authority of this time, we're also going to have such a connection with the authority within us. What voices come in that say, I can or I can't. What power comes in that leads us forward, that has us looking at things differently than we have before. It brings us to our inner emotional self of the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is a gift coming in from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, that starts to open doors, but also leads us on a different path. The thing with the Four of Cups is that it's not usually a gift that we would say, oh, that's a gift, or oh, that cup is really super pretty, I'd pick that. It's the one that's handmade. It's the one that's a little bit wonky. And Spirit's saying, but if you take it, you will be surprised at the blessings that come. If you take it, if you embrace it, you will be surprised at the path that you're led down. And this becomes a game-changing time for us. Also, the gifts that we are taking, the gifts that we are understanding, the power that is moving us forward, we're going to start to see that sometimes it feels like added responsibilities. It feels like more things put upon our shoulders. It feels like, can I move forward in this? Do I know what I want? But what we're going to start to see is that as we step back and we step into the quiet, we step into the transformative energy of our inner self, we start to say, oh, but if that didn't happen, this wouldn't be here. Like, if I didn't walk down that road, I wouldn't be me. And sometimes the road is so hard and so overwhelming and definitely does not feel like a blessing. But Spirit is saying that it doesn't always have to feel like a blessing. It's kind of like when we have to understand the emotions of happiness and sorrow and, discontent and everything to be able to really enjoy the happiness, to be able to embrace our hearts. And then the Four of Swords is saying, honor your path, honor everything that you have sacrificed for, everything that you have done, honor your story. Why? Because we don't honor our stories. We think, oh, well, you're just supposed to live through it. You're just supposed to keep on going. You're just supposed to. And what the Four of Swords is saying here is honor the path that you are on. Honor the path that you walked. Honor your tale. Because we are simply stories. We are the compiling of stories and experiences and understandings and connections. And that is what human beings are. And as we start to embrace this, and as we honor our path and our past, we can start to honor our present and who we are. We can also start to see the insecurities that hold us back, the chaos that is a part of us, the things that we still have to work on in our inner selves. Because at our heart, we have our passion and our fire and our transformation for a new dawn, a sense of really connecting with our sacral chakra and with our solar plexus chakra to say, I'm listening to my gut. I'm embracing my creativity. There's a new dawn here. There's a new way forward. There's also hidden beauty that I haven't seen before that gets to come out, that gets to be a part of myself, that gets to be a part of me. We're falling into balance with things, but we're also looking at where our heart is unbalanced in the waking world. And where our heart is unbalanced is where we're looking at ourselves and saying, okay, what do I desire from my life? Where do I need to be? Is this something from my childhood that is coming forward? Is this something from the present where I'm sitting here and I'm trying to do everything correctly? And yet, more people give than take or take than give. And it's just like, oh my goodness, how can I ever have it be settled? Have it be connected? Have it be powerful? What Spirit is also saying here is that I'm giving to you. I'm helping you. I'm moving with you. I'm building you. And this is a time where we have to see that energy coming forward. We have to see ourselves and honor ourselves and take in these blessings, because we're gathering up our knowledge, we're gathering up our understanding, and we're moving forward. We're moving towards something so much more with the Six of Swords, with the sense of knowledge and understanding, insight and ideas. The waters are there. The chaos of emotion is there. The cloudiness is around us. We're not always going to see things as clearly as we would like. But what happens is, in the public arena, as we're moving forward, as we're honoring ourselves, I love that we have the Four of Swords, the Six of Swords and the Five of Swords. They can go, we have our inner selves, right? The Four of Swords. Then we have the public arena, the Five of Swords, and the Six of Swords is the way that we start moving forward. So there's beautiful sequence. Two things. The Five of Swords is the fact that we are going to have to face situations and hardships and chaoses that we have faced before, and we don't want to. It's not something that we're like, oh, yippee, this is such a great thing. It's like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? And the Five of Swords is also saying, claim your victories. Remember, in medieval times, today we see the person with all the swords in their hand, the other people walking away, and we think, wow, you could have shared. Like, that's not good sportsmanship. But in medieval times, you wouldn't give a person back their sword. That would be considered the weakest, silliest thing you could ever have done. That person will run you through with a sword. That person will run you through with the sword you just gave them. That person will lead a blood feud to you. This is a time where we're saying, I'm taking my wins. I'm taking what I've earned. I'm empowering myself. I'm not backing down to somebody else because I think it is the polite thing to do, or I don't know really how to maneuver this situation. And it brings us to a place of standing in our power, standing in ourselves. And it brings us to this transformation, this death card, this sense of the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. And this can be something that we have to mourn at times. Excuse me. That we aren't the same people that we once were, that life has changed, that things are different. And it can be something that is overwhelming, yes, but it's also going to be something that we look at and say, I'm not the same person I once was. I walked through the challenges. I walked through the hurts. I walked through the pains and disappointments. And this is my power. Excuse me as I take a sip of water. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, which is justice. We have to be mindful. Okay. Very good. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. We have to be mindful about being just to ourselves, about standing in our power, about standing in our understanding, about not giving other people authority over us and saying, but these are the rules. Like, this is exactly how it's supposed to be. And looking at things and saying, is this right for me? Is this discerning for me? Is this empowering for me? Nobody gets to take our justice away from us. And it brings us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is clarity. And this is the third eye chakra. This is being able to see things so much more clearly now with this winter solstice because of the rebirth. And because we are so deeply entrenched in this rebirth, we're going to see it in the public arena. What once was like, okay, I'll take that. Like, okay, fine. Like, there's nothing I can do. Now we're like, no, I am reborn in power, in discernment, in understanding, in force of self. I see things so much more clearly than I have before. It brings us to our subconscious rooted self, and that's the world. The world opens up. We see things differently. We are looking at things and now saying, where do I stand within the world? What do I want from my world? We tend to look at things and think, oh, okay, fame and fortune, that's what we want. And yet that's not always suitable for everybody. That's not what everybody wants. There is a power in the quiet. There is a power in the connection of the heart. There is a power in the understanding of the individual self and not having to be, demigodly worshipped by others. And what we're embracing here is our world connecting with us, ourselves connecting with us. And we're starting to say that I stand here. We're starting to see that if this is the world that I want, I open my heart to it. And I open myself to moving forward towards something that might have just been a dream. I embrace me. And it's not saying that we have to look at success in one certain way. It's saying that I can open myself up to be more successful than I ever imagined. I can open myself up to the power, and that's at the root of us as we are seeing things differently, as we are transforming, and it brings us to our subconscious inner self, which is the moon. Again, the power of the moon coming forward. It is the power of this moon that teaches us, that watches us, that learns with us. And it's the power of this night, the longest night of the year, that is connecting with us. But we're also going to see here a lot of the monsters that have kept us held back, a lot of the fears that have made us think, can I do this? Can I move forward this way? Do I know what I want? What if I fail? What if everything falls apart? Can you believe that I can do this? Or can I believe that I can do this? Because once upon a time, 5 years ago or 5 minutes ago, somebody told me I was worthless. Somebody took away my self-confidence. Somebody, belittled me and made me feel like I just couldn't. But we're also going to start to see this picture in a different light. The monster that is standing next to her, guiding her or guarding her while she sleeps, does not have to be what she fears. That can actually be her guardian, her sense of safety, her security. And so when we look at things and we see monsters, when we look at things and we think, oh my gosh, that's too much, maybe the monsters are on our side. Maybe we are being protected and we are embracing a connection that others cannot see. And that doesn't mean like the monsters in the world, the evil, terrible people are on our side. It means that there is force behind us and there is a power to us that if people saw it in the light of the moon or in the light of the sun or anywhere, they'd be like, oh my gosh, that's too much. But here in the now, as our souls are connecting, we are going to find that we're fiercely guarded and well protected. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, and that's the 9 of Pentacles. Celebrate your prosperity, celebrate your bounty. Yes, there's more work to come, but celebrate the moment. Do not forget to celebrate the moments. Do not forget the joy in life, because if we don't, it can all be eaten away. It can all be eaten away by the expectations of others and the force of, other people's dreams and determination. And you're never going to have enough money or never going to have enough prestige. And it's always going to be more and more and more. And what Spirit's saying here is stop. Stop and stand in the place that you are in. Stop and stand in the power that you have created and take it in. Revel in it and then move forward. It moves us to our subconscious public arena self. And that is the star Aquarius energy, which is funny because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So here we have the energy of Capricorn, the energy of Saturn, Capricorn, which rules us. And now we have the star coming in, which is ruled by Uranus. And so here with the stars, it is our wishes, it is our dreams, it is our greatest desire. It's a sense of wishes and beauties and heart's wants coming forward. We have this beautiful sense of I am getting what I need. Maybe not always necessarily what I crossed my fingers for or wrote a list of what I wanted, but I'm getting what I need. And as I'm getting what I need, I'm standing in me, I'm seeing me, I'm embracing me, I'm understanding me, and I'm starting to see paths open that I never even thought of before. All right, Capricorn. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this winter solstice. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn, and may you have a blessed winter solstice.